This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Brett Franklin in studio, and we talk some Celtics as we do every week. It seems like it's a different result. Last week they had beat the 76ers after I discounted them. This week, now they go on the road. They lose to Toronto. Brett, what does this mean going forward? Or can we not figure this team out? They can beat some good teams and they get beat by some good teams. This is a puzzle. What does this mean?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think I told you on the air the other day, I'm done trying to say, that this team's turned a corner or that they're going to go on a run. I really thought the All-Star break would have given this team a chance to kind of decompress. They played a ton of games early on in the season that they'd come back refreshed, raring to go. What do? They come out and they drop 3 in a row. And really, the Bucks game, I understand they're a good team.
Right.
But to go into Chicago, a team that has checked out since December, and to lay an egg, that was embarrassing. The other night against Toronto, it looked like the Celtics would have rather been somewhere else right now. And I don't know. I really don't know. This team has the talent. They have the capability to do it. But maybe this team has bought into their own previews that even yours truly said this team should win 60 games. They should wipe the floor with the Eastern Conference. There seems to be an underlying issue that we don't know about.
Right.
I feel like there is something that is going on that we just don't know. And I don't know if it's fair to pin it all on Kyrie Irving. And he has a share of the blame, no doubt about it.
Right.
But the fact that this team just cannot get it going, that it seems like everybody wants to do their own thing, try to make their own magic because minutes are at a premium. It's just not working, and this is the biggest challenge of Brad Stevens' career by far. And you wonder in the playoffs if they're the 5 seed or the 4 seed. Yeah. That's going to be tough. And I don't know what to make of this team anymore, Jeremy. We're more than halfway through this season, and we have yet to find out this real team.
Right. This team might not even win 50 games, and they're a 500 team on the road. They're a 500 team against good competition.
If you had told me this team was not going to win 50 games before the end of this, I would have said Kyrie's hurt again or Gordon Hayward's hurt again. I just can't believe it.
And Aaron Baines may come back soon, and when he's back, they're clearly a better team, so maybe that helps them. You got some time left in the regular season to maybe make that move. You might get up to that 3 seed if you can pass Philadelphia and Indiana. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks before we get to our Salt Hill Pub picks of the week. We also have our MVP picks coming right up.
It's time for the Salt Hill Pub picks of the week. Salt Hill Pub, honest food, perfect pints, live music, now here to serve you in 5 locations.
Here we are with our Salt Hill Pub picks of the week, and as we talk a little NBA, we'll go look at our top 5 MVP candidates for the season. And Brett, we'll start with you. Who do you have as number 5?
Hard to believe he's at number 5 for me here, but I'm going to go Kevin Durant at number 5 on such a great Warriors team, and he's putting up really good numbers. But I think he's in the conversation, clearly overshadowed by the great play of his point guard. I'll put KD there in the top 5, though.
All right, in my number 5, we saw him last night, Kawhi Leonard, going to Toronto. They're making some moves. We'll see if it matters, though. They've always struggled in the playoffs, so we'll see if he can do that in the postseason. Who do you have as number 4?
I'll go with Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
I think he's played much better than I thought he would play in Toronto, and to kind of buy into the system. So far so good, but like you said, once the playoffs come, if it's an early bounce, does that change his perception moving into free agency? But so far, he's well exceeded my expectations.
My number 4, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but it's going to be LeBron James. I know they're not a great team. I know they barely make the playoffs, if they even do. Just imagine where they would be without him. So I'm going to take LeBron James. Probably a little unpopular, but there he is, my number 4 pick.
He's a great player, terrible leader, by the way.
Who you got at number 3?
I'm going to go with Steph Curry. You look at the numbers he's putting up, it's great. The three-point shooting, obviously, but he just creates an environment where players around him are just so much better. He's fun to watch.
Right.
Even though I think what he's doing a disservice to today's game of everybody just jacking up a 3. But I'll have Steph at number 3.
I agree with you there. I take Steph Curry as well. Obviously, they have a lot of talent, but he is the guy who makes that go. I know Kevin Durant, he's in the picture as well, but Steph Curry is number 3 for me. Your number 2 pick for MVP.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think the Greek Freak is a fun player to watch, man. He He can shoot. He can drive to the basket. He can defend. He's an unselfish player. He can distribute. He's everything you want in a player, and he's fun to watch. He's number 2.
All right, my number 2 is actually James Harden. I think he was MVP, but then he sat out, and they've been winning, or they did win. That doesn't mean he's not an MVP candidate, but I think 1 and 2 are going to flip-flop the rest of the season, so we'll see what happens. Who do you have as number 1?
I'm going to go with James Harden. When you're averaging, close to 35 points a game so far through the season, it's pretty hard to dispute that. Whether or not he travels all the time, whole other story. But I think you've got to go right now Harden at 1.
All right, my number 1 is your number 2, Giannis, right there. I think Harden and Antetokounmpo will be switching back and forth as the favorite, but at the end of the year, one of those two is clearly head and shoulders above the rest. So there are the top 5 MVP candidates for our Salt Hill Pub Picks of the Week. Thanks to Brett Franklin for joining me from 94 ESPN Radio. Check his show out every weekday, 12 to 1. 945ESPN.com, 94.3 in Claremont, 94.5 in White River Junction. Thanks for watching YCN Sports Talk.